Okay. This is like my 50th take at trying to talk about Top Dasher. I had a really good video, and the sad part is I turned around and did not even put it in the right spot. So I kind of got hit with the whole, well, let's put the video on there. And then I realized it wasn't even my page. It was another page that I'm not using for YouTube channels. So I got to redo the video. I'm tried to do it several times, tried to do it on a car, and it just isn't going. So I'm at home, chilling, relaxing, and so music in the background, had my hot cocoa, not much for coffee, can't stand coffee, trying to get away from pop. Um, Listen to the rock in the background because I love the rock. But let's talk about Top Dasher. The benefits to having it. There's two real big benefits to having Top Dasher. The first one is the fact that you have an access to orders that you normally don't have. Now, they give you top priority, but it does not mean you're going to get top priority of the best orders. They're just giving you top priority, period. You're going to get a bunch of crap orders, you're going to get a bunch of good orders, and it's going to kind of stink, but you know, it is what it is. The other benefit, but you do get loads and loads of orders that you normally would not get. But the big thing that I like about it is you get to run at any time, anywhere, any place as you wish. Now, is there places that you're going to go to and you're going to say it's not worth it? Absolutely. I've gone to places and I'm like, I'm going to run here because they've got a peak pay going. Get there, there's nothing going on. But hey, I'm able to run it. If I get an order, it could be a landmine, but a really good thing. But I've also gone to places and you get there and it says you can run, but there's not much there. So, you know, it really depends. But you can run anywhere, anytime, any place, and it's no big deal. That's why I like it. I can go to Toledo. I can go to Indianapolis. I can go to Fort Wayne. I can go to New York. No, I won't go to New York, but you get my point. I go on vacation down in Cancun. I can run Cancun. I go to Timbuktu, Pennsylvania. That is actually a place. But I can go anywhere virtually. California, Oregon, Alaska, Washington. Alaska is another place I don't have a big desire for because I really don't want to be stuck in nothing but snow for 3/4 of the year. But you get my point. You can run anywhere, any place, anytime. It's awesome. You want to make good money, the multi-platform, be Top Dasher. And let's say I get a $30 Instacart order, 20 items. I'm checking out. Let's turn on DoorDash. Ooh, there's an $8 order from B-Dubs, for an example. My $30 order is now $38. Maybe they stack a second order on it because it's during the peak time of the day. So maybe you get another $7 order. So all of a sudden your $30 order is now a $45 order with 3 stops. Or 4 stops, depending on if Instacart's a double order or a single order. But you get my point. Then you just got to figure out which one's going to be the best one to deliver to you first. And voila. There you go. That's happened to me on numerous occasions. Or Uber Eats. I have an Uber Eats order. I pick up a DoorDash order that I have to pick up on the way to the delivery. And then the drop off for DoorDash is on the way. Or the drop off for DoorDash is after I would drop off the Uber Eats. Either way, I'm adding on to how much I'm making real easy and very simple steps. Going same direction, same time, make the same money. So that's a benefit to really having DoorDash. Top Dasher. Now, if I'm not a Top Dasher and I'm doing that Instacart order or that Uber Eats order or the Grubhub order or whatever, then I might not have the luxury of turning on DoorDash and being lucky to get another order. So that's benefits that go with it. Now, here's the requirements. Number one is the fact that you have to have 200 lifetime deliveries. That's it. Real simple. 200 lifetime deliveries. Anything over that, you're fine. You get 2 weeks when you start of Top Dasher ability. If you run it like crazy, you can very easily get Top Dasher next month. Excuse me. So, that is a really good goal to shoot for. Now, number two goes with that, and it's even simpler. Do 100 deliveries in a month. Those two together are really, really simple. They're still playing. I forgot about that. Just got a text that the Bengals are playing. I forgot they're still playing. I'm not a Bengals fan. My team's out. I usually stop following sports as much. Rabbit. Totally off topic. Sorry. But anyway, you do 100 orders on Top Dasher. Real simple. Do 100 orders a month. 200 lifetime deliveries. Those two goals are really simple because the one, once you get it, you've always have it. The other one, you do 25 orders a week. You figure 4 weeks a month, maybe 5. Real easy to get 25 a week. Real easy. Do 5 orders a day for 5 days a week. You'll make, do that for about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. You can easily, depending where you're at, you can easily make 5, 6, 7, 8 orders in 2 hours. Depending how long and how short they are too, of course. You're going to have some days where you can make more, some days where you can make less. But it really depends what you want to shoot for goal-wise. Acceptance rate. That's number 3. Acceptance rate is out of 100 orders, you have to accept by the last day of the month at midnight. You have to be at 70% or better to get a top dasher. Acceptance rate. So out of every 100 orders, you accept 70% of them. Again, not hard. If you run hard, you can run 3%, and I know people do this. You can run 3%, 2%, 8% acceptance rate, and then at the end of the month, you take that last week and you just accept everything, and it's really easy to take that up to 100%, to over 70%. I know somebody that hit that mark last month, and they literally were at 70% right at midnight. Now, he brought up to 72, he got it at 72% because until your shift is done, they'll keep running, and he ran till like 2 o'clock in the morning. He was up in a place where the stores were open later. My hometown, they're not open that late, but that's no big deal. But 70%. Next one goes off of that, and that is the completion rate. You need an 80% completion rate to be on DoorDash. Now, there is ways to be below that, but to be Top Dasher, you need to be at 95%. 95%. That is not hard, because if you're accepting orders, most likely you're going to run those orders. Now, you do have your orders where you find out stores where you might not want to run. You're going to have to pause me for just 1 second here, so I'll be right back. Now, again, let's get back to it. A 95% completion percentage. Not that hard, because you're going to run... Normally, I tend to run around a 96, 97%. I have a little bit of cushion. I don't like something, I can unsign it. You run enough orders, it comes right back up, no big deal. Now, some people were... Now, you have your occasional places where the wait time's going to be half an hour. Not going to do it. I heard it said in DoorDash Diaries, don't wait longer than 10 minutes. I've gone 10, 15, someplace in there. It just depends. Like, if I know they're working on it and it's going to be done, and it's just taking a little bit longer than they expect, I have a little bit of leniency with that. Especially if it's a really good paying order, then you really want to stay there. But the idea is that if you're, You get someplace and they're going to take a half an hour. It sucks. Sorry. I'm going to have to let somebody else take it because I'm not waiting half an hour. I'm not waiting 40 minutes. So I've unassigned because of those kind of reasons. I've unassigned because there's a store that wants to be drive-through only. They do one order at a time, and they don't let you go through. So literally, the drive-through, once the drive-through starts getting busy, it's all the way around the building, pretty much 24/7. And those are the kind of stores when it's drive-through only, and you're stuck there. You don't go there. I give names, but I don't think I should. But yeah, you want to be careful of that because those are the kind of orders you want to accept, and then you put them on your blacklist because it's like, I don't want to run that. So that's an order you might drop, and then you get an incomplete. Lately, DoorDash is on the thing where when you mark a store closed, it is being marked as an incomplete, and you don't get paid. I don't know why they do it. Some people say it's because they're trying to lose that pay, and if you don't call in, you don't get the pay. Some people do, some people don't. It might just be the fact there's a glitch in the app, and they just haven't fixed it yet. I'm not going to say one way or the other. I've heard different stories, but the reality is the fact that sometimes the app is going to mark it incomplete instead of marking it as closed, and it's not going to cooperate. And in those cases, you need to call DoorDash and try to get them to deal with it instead. But that will give you an incomplete. There's going to be times that you call DoorDash and say, this order's not going to work. We'll make sure it does not kind of get your ratings, and it does. For whatever reason, things happen. But you want a 95% completion rate at the end of the month. It's not a hard one, because if you're accepting 70% of your orders, out of every 100 of those orders that you accept, they look at the completion percentage. And if you're completing all of your orders, you'll be at 100%. It's really not that hard. And I try to maintain around a 95, 93%. I don't try to go any lower than that because I know it's really simple to bring that number up versus an 80% and then hoping that I can do enough orders to get that up to 95%. Again, it shouldn't be that hard, but there's times where your numbers just don't go that high. For whatever reason, you keep coming across, every time you complete an order, then you come across a store that you just know that is usually runs good, and it's just not running good that day, and a fluke thing happens, or whatever reason, you mark a store closed and it gives you an incomplete. The last one I'm going to talk about, and this I'm not going to get into the details with it. I'm not going to get in details with it, but the last one is a customer rating. People can rate you good, people can rate you bad. There's ways to improve it, there's ways not to improve it. There's things out of your circumstance where people are just upset with the situation, food cold, missing items. You did everything you could, but the food's sealed, so you miss things. And they might text you and say what's going on. They might give you a wrong address and not realize it. And then you deliver it, and they're like, you got to bring it back to me. At that point, you call DoorDash, what do you want me to do? They will usually tell you to leave it, and they'll contact the customer. And then the customer might be cussing you out, saying you're not giving good service because you did your job. Now, DoorDash is supposed to protect your ratings on that one, but they don't always do that. And I've come across that. Or maybe the customer rates you before DoorDash could deal with it, whatever the case. DoorDash won't go back and fix your ratings. When it comes to ratings, it is what it is. Now, if you're on the phone with DoorDash with the problems, and you can go back and say, hey, here's my screenshots, here's my thing that proves that I was on the phone with DoorDash, and you're going for Top Dasher and you're not at the numbers you need to be, but it's because of those situations, you can call them and get that fixed out. That's a little out, isn't it? I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to feel like going out driving in my car just to make a video. I want to be real in my videos. So I'm at home chilling. And I figured I'd put music in the background because, who doesn't like music in the background? And I like The Rock, and I put that in the background. But anyway, the big thing is the fact that you got to maintain a 4.7 Dasher customer rating. It does not affect you if DoorDash is upset with you or you have a problem with a store. that stuff should not be affected. But if you deal with the customers, that's what affects your customer rating, what they think of you. And normally, if you're texting them and talking with them, they will give you a good rating. If you're communicating that the order is going to be late, if they say leave it at the door and you leave it at the door and you don't knock and it says don't knock, then they're going to be okay with it. I've had, it gets hard when your whole day is nothing but, and it's not a big deal, but when your whole day is knock, 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 and then you get to the one that says don't knock and then you do it out of habit, customer will probably give you a bad rating. Why? Because they said not to. I mean, accidents happen. Habits are formed real easy and hard to break. So whatever the case, but people's gonna rate you what they want to rate you, and and it is what it is. But the big thing is you have a 4.7 rating. I do this job because I think it's really good for people that are on disability. It's really good for retired people. It's really good for people that are just want something to do extra, or they want extra money on the side. I think it's great for that stuff. You get the people that try to make a job out of it because they're told that you make great money. Those are the ones that, and they are able to work. Those are the ones that, people do it for whatever reason. This can be a job where it can be very profitable. You're not going to get rich. You're not going to be able to break a bank and be like, ooh, I can go out and buy a mansion and have $1 million. But you can invest it. You can make it where you want it to be, and you can make this be your only job. You're going to have to run really, really hard, like any job. I mean, but this one gives you the potential. The more money, the more time you want to put into it, the more money you want to make, the easier it is for you. And especially if you get Top Dasher, that really does a lot for that. Now, again, there can be frustrations with it, but it can also go really good. So, the realistic side of it is the fact that you need to figure out what your goals are and go for it. This video is longer than I want it to be, and I kind of rambled a little bit, but I also wanted to bring across my point that Top Dasher is a very profitable thing. And at the beginning of the month, you can let your numbers slide and not care, and you can make more money. At the end, you find a month you find the last week, 3 weeks to be able to really maximize what you can do, and 1 week to fix everything is not a bad deal. And the more time you put into it, the better you can run. And that first 2 weeks when you first start, you get 2 weeks of Top Dasher. You're not going to get all the orders you get as an actual Top Dasher, but you're still going to get a big variety. And in 2 weeks, if you can run 7-8 days solid, and especially if you have both weekends, you're going to have 2 weekends. And if you get both weekends and you run both weekends solid, you can easily make 80-90 orders just in those 3 days alone. And that's only working 8 to 10 hours a day, if you want, maybe more. It really depends. I did a Friday. The 1 week I did a Friday 4 o'clock to Sunday at 5 o'clock. And I did 85 orders. Those 3 days. That's it. And I didn't do much the rest of the week. DoorDash wise. I did a bunch of other stuff. I had a lot of stuff going on. But that weekend I did 85 orders. Just those 3 days. From 5 o'clock to 4 o'clock on Sunday. So it's really easy to do. I mean, Friday, obviously, your days of the week, your peak days are going to be Monday, or it's going to be Friday through Monday. Thursdays can be really busy. Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be your slowest days. And Thursday and Wednesdays sometimes can flop too. It just depends. And if it's snowing out or it's really bad weather out, people tend to order out a lot more because it's bad and they don't want to deal with it. So you got to put all these things in mind and figure out that dinner's going to be your best time to run. Lunch is a decent time, and late night can be decent. And breakfast is a hit or miss. If it's a weekend, you're going to have a little more hit, but you're going to have a lot of downtime too. But hopefully these tips help. Hopefully these things about making you decide if you want to be Top Dasher or not. That's all I'm trying to do is educate. So, like, share, and subscribe. And God bless, and if you guys have any comments, please leave them, and I would love to view them. You guys have a wonderful evening, and hopefully I can put this on the right page this time. Be blessed.